So, what made us furries? Today, I have a few friends of mine that are going to be sharing their experiences and their stories on why they joined the fandom. Here we go.
So funny story on how I became a furry. I was in class, I think I was out somewhere in the halls in class, and I heard some kids, let's say, talk just about, oh, furries are cringe and all this stuff. And at the time, I was probably like grade 7, 8. I'd probably say around maybe 14 years old. 14, 15, somewhere there. And I was like, you know what even is a furry? What are these kids even talking about? So I decided to search it up like, the normal kid would do when they don't know something, right? And while I was searching it up, I ran into just your basic furry cringe. That's what they were talking about. I just searched up furry cringe. Surprisingly, YouTube didn't give me just furry cringe. It actually recommended me to actual proper YouTube videos, leading me to 7 levels of furry hell or something like that. I thought that video was really, really funny. Then I started watching Solar Saber about, let's say, how to make your fursona and all that stuff. So I kind of fell down to the rabbit hole watching Zillion Ross, and I started, let's say, sketchbooking. Well, I have a sketchbook somewhere here with just a bunch of, let's say, my drawings on it and everything. I used to draw, let's say, actually really quite frequently until eventually I got an Apple Pencil, and then I accidentally drew a little photo of this here, and that's how Niko became a thing. And I kind of stuck with that color palette ever since. I stuck with that color palette through everything. I turned that into a Nardo Dragon, a Tatum. Every single VR chat avatar that I have is the same color palette. And then after that, my Nardo Dragon, I fell in love with it and eventually became literally real.
Why did I become a furry? Well, early 2017, my best friend and cousin told me about this group of people. She didn't know what they were called. All she knew is that they dressed up in animal costumes designed off of special characters that they've created. I ended up looking them up, finding the fandom, and instantly falling in love. I've made several sonas since 2017, finally settling with Glorb.
Why did I join the furry fandom? I joined to get myself out there and make some new friends, to socialize. I was basically living on my own ever since COVID, and I knew I needed to get out there, make new friends, let the part of me out that I had been suppressing for 15 years, that being the leader in me, that is Shadow, the fun side of me, that is Chance. And furry felt like a great way to do that. Going to places, meeting new people, making this content. I wanted to show the world that it is absolutely possible to jump in to the furry fandom and run with it full blast. It's been 8 months now, and I'm weeks away from my full suit. I've been getting good at Shadow. I've been practicing my socialization. I've joined groups. I've led groups. It is a big trip joining the furry fandom. But through all the challenges that I have faced, all the positivity is much more. So, yeah, I joined the furry fandom to make new friends, and I'm going to keep going and making even more new friends. I succeeded, so now I want to work on succeeding some more.
Hi, I'm Pyxe, and that's how you spell it. Very different, I know. But regardless, I'm here to give my take on how I, Pyxe the Fox, became a furry. Now listen, we gotta go all the way back to the wee age of 15, 14, 13. You know that era of your life, okay? So, let's grow up together and realize we're all sitting at a wonderful TV station watching our favorite DVDs / Blu-rays, at that time, or even before that, VHSs, and we were all watching Disney movies like Lady and the Tramp 2, Robin Hood. We're watching so many different types of things, and I had a nice appeal to the whole furry side, okay? Disney kind of was the reason in that sort of aspect, but not the main reason. But this is just a little background, okay? So I loved Disney movies. I grew up with Disney movies all the time. Of course, Lion King was peak. Let me tell you, I was that person that wanted to have my own character in The Lion King. Same with Land Before Time, Don Bluth. I wanted to have my own character in The Land Before Time because I thought, oh, these anthro characters all together look like they're having fun. It was great. As I got older, I was like, it might be for kids, whatever. I'll still enjoy it, but I was kind of like, do I want to be a part of it? I do want to be a part of it. Fast forward. Now we're at the age of 16 years old. At a 16-year-old, I loved to read. I was a reader. I was quite excelled at reading, let me tell you. Very fast reader. So when I started going on different websites, I wanted to read stories about some of my favorite things. And one of the things I really liked at the time was Pokemon. Just Red, though. I never went further than that. Pokemon Red was the way to go. So I went to Pokemon Red, and I went to read that sort of stuff. The fan fiction, of course. And we went to the wonderful site called fanfiction.net. Whoa, the craziest thing ever. I love fan fiction. There was a little bit of that, kind of moments, but of course I really wanted to read some. So I read a lot of different characters, having different OCs and stuff, moving in and enjoying like their own adventure. And I was like, man, this is really good. There was one artist in particular that I really, really liked to read. Their name was Falcon Mage. Now, of course, Falcon Mage made some amazing stories. Please, viewer discretion is advised when you do read them, of course. But I was really interested in a lot of the stories that they create. The world building was insane. Like, they were doing such a great job. So I asked them, hey, what's up? How you doing? Do you have any more stories? I would really like to be a part of that. I want to read more of what you have. Now, of course, they said, hey, I do have a lot of stories, actually. Most of them are on this site, Fur Affinity. Oh, whoa, acknowledge. Okay. Fur Affinity, that's a thing. All right. I don't know what that is, but I'll totally be into it. So he's like, it's furry stuff, if that's okay. And I'm like, it's fine. I know what that is. I didn't know what a furry was at the time. So I went onto that website, furaffinity.net, looked up that username and saw, whoa, they made some good stuff. Now, of course, blank slate, no profile, just reading the stuff that they got. Again, amazing world building, amazing characters, good stories, all around, 10 out of 10. Very nice stuff, okay? And then I thought, well, since I'm here, might as well look around and see what Fur Affinity has to offer. Now, of course, when you don't have a profile, obviously it's very, very safe to look at. A lot of good furry artists you could see and stuff. And there's a lot of great stories and great music as well that you can really get into. So, as I was scrolling through, I was like, oh, wait. These guys had the same thing that I liked when I liked Disney. That's so cool. I wanted to enjoy being an anthro character. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was called. But I wanted to have a character like that. And guess what? That happened. I was like, this is real. This is a thing that I get to be. People want to do this as well. So I signed up for Fur Affinity, and of course, that is when I chose this is the life for me. And then I became a furry, and 5 years later, made, of course, the wonderful fursuit of Pyxe. We are here in this beautiful fursuit, and it's absolutely been an amazing, amazing journey. And again, been in this fandom for 14 years, which is crazy. Seen a lot of people come and go, seen a lot of drama, seen a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of good and forward momentum, having a lot of people growing up, becoming a furry. It has been awesome. So that's my story on how I became a furry.
Hello everyone, my name is Benji The Beagle. So I got into the furry fandom back in 2017. That feels like a long time ago now that you think about it. But yes, my story is kind of interesting. So I found the fandom by looking up just random trending videos back then. I looked up Hello by Adele. That was for some reason still trending. Gangnam Style by Psy. Then I looked up a video, What Does the Fox Say? So this video alone actually did not lead me into the finding of the fandom. It was actually a reaction video by a Miles Tails Prower animated character reacting to what does the fox say? That video, in the video, he said the word furry. So after that, I looked up the word furry, and yeah, the rest is just history after that. That's pretty much the story of how I found the furry fandom. Yeah.
Hey there, my name is Finlyle, and I've been a furry for 7 years now. My fursona is a striped skunk. So how did I get into the furry fandom? Ever since I was a kid, I really liked these anime characters with cat ears and tails, the Niko. The idea that I could be cute and silly just by acting like an animal really resonated with me. After knowing a furry in high school and going on a very awkward date with another one in the year before the plague, 2019, I jumped beans first into a Mino. Remember that? I remember being in a chat room hitting it off with a person with a wolf profile picture. They introduced me to Majira Strawberry, who proceeded to drag me down to fursuit hell. God, I love fursuits. I would spend hours in my room every day after school, watching every furry YouTube video I could find.
Now I get to be in one.
Going crazy over the nicest thing dog and role-playing with strangers in chat rooms really made up most of those early days. I can't believe it's already been 7 years. At first, my son was a deer for a year, before switching to just a skunk after a rewatch of the cartoon Skunk Fu. Plus, Flower from Bambi, I'm looking at you. But anyway, this skunk is beyond grateful to every kind person in the community for making this such a magical place for everyone to express their inner animal.
Hi there, I'm Kame The Turtle, and you are watching, well, Vert's video. I was asked what got me to join the furry fandom, and for that, we gotta go way back in time to when I was just a little kid, and my mother used to work at the Disney store. As a Disney store employee, she got all kinds of perks on bringing home VHSs for Disney movies, and both my sister and I were drawn deeply for the animated anthropomorphic movies. So my mom would bring home all of these anime movies like Dumbo, The Aristocats, Robin Hood, and we fell in love watching these movies. Advanced a few years, and the CSI episode Fur and Loathing came out that introduced us to the concept of furries. And yes, it was taken in a negative light. Years later, after I moved to North Carolina, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with a friendo, and he had up some furry posters on his walls. He knows me looking at his posters on his walls. When I asked him about it, he told me a bit more about being furry. And I said, oh, I'm kind of interested. And that's when he took me to my first fur meet. From there, I started going to my local fur meet on the regular. Just as something to do, get me out of the house, you know. And over time, I started making friendos. Then I heard that the majority of my D&D crew was also going to the local fur meet. So, yay for that. As I get more and more entrenched into the furry fandom, it started growing on me, to the point where I fully dove in and more or less officially joined the furry fandom by making a Fur Fenty page in about 2016. So yeah, that's why I joined the furry fandom. In a nutshell anyway, I hope this helped. Johnny.
I'm not gonna lie, I have nowhere to put my mic for this. So, we're gonna vibe, okay? Anywho, now it's my turn on how I ended up joining. So basically, one day I was in class and we were supposed to do a project on anything, like a presentation on anything. And this one girl ended up screaming to like the teacher, hey, can we do furries? And I was like, what the hell's a furry? So this was like in 2018, by the way. So I ended up going onto the computer and looking it up and I was interested. I was like, And then I ended up getting home, looking up furry on YouTube, and just finding countless YouTubers like Majira, Fluke, many others. And yeah, that's how I became a furry. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, of course. And deuces.